guys. I almost forgot. I promised I was going to do a video on basic calisthenics and body weight exercises. Didn't really have much time today, so I'm just going to go run over. Okay, so in exercise we have 7 basic movements, okay? You have vertical push and pull, horizontal push and pull, hip dominant, knee dominant, and anti-rotation, flexion, extension, which is basically like isolating your core from moving, okay? Generally, like good trainers anyway, will never do core warm-ups, and you don't do like abs before you warm up. You always want to end with abs because your abs are constantly stabilizing the entire body. So if you start to burn your abs out too early, it'll hurt your entire workout, and cause injury. So avoid doing any kind of ab isolated workouts until after your routine's done, and finish with the abs. Okay. So going over the form for a basic push-up. Try to get a better frame for you guys, sorry. Okay. So a basic push-up, elbow should be down, thumb should be at your nipple, okay? Same as a bench press. You want to have the elbows cocked to the side, thumb should be right at your nipples, okay? And what you want to feel is a slight rotation outward, like you're going to spin your arms upside down when you hit the floor, just a little bit. What that's going to do is going to cause a spiral rotation that locks everything into place. Can you see the ground here? Probably get a good shot for you guys, alright? So let me just get there. Alright, good. So a lot of you guys probably are not in good enough shape to do push-ups, so we'll start with a regression, which is basically doing on your knees. And I'm sure a lot of people won't be able to do this either. Okay? So thumbs up my nipples, alright? So you have your knees, lock your abs straight. Your elbows down. As if you put your elbows in your pockets. When you go down, you want to go slower than you're going up. Okay, so on your eccentric, whatever. But basically, going down, you want to use gravity and resist. And then as you come up, you want to be more explosive. Okay, this is a general way to do it for martial arts and for fitness. Okay, you can do it just regular reps like this, but you'll get a better effect and do less reps and get a better result by doing slow coming down and faster coming up. Okay. You can do really slow both ways, that's fine, right? Notice my knees on the ground and my hip. I'm trying to keep my hip straight, okay? This is for beginners who can't do anything. If you can only do one, that's fine, okay? Now let's just say that you're so bad that you can't even do one. So what you're gonna do is start from the top, and as slow as you can, let yourself down, and then you're gonna walk yourself back up. Okay? And just do that as many times as you can. Once you get comfortable with that, you do one rep, relax, bring yourself up, okay? I know for people who can do push-ups, it's just like, oh my God, that's so stupid, but there's people who really can't. They've had injuries, they never worked out. So, we're trying to just make it for everybody, right? Now, if you're already strong enough, you can do 10 push-ups. What you want to make sure you do is not let your heels fall backwards, because when you do that, you disengage your anterior chain, meaning the front of your body. So what we want to happen is to have the heels pointing up to the sky. Okay? And when you do that, you can feel your core completely engaged. Elbows are rotated in, I'm cracking the floor up, and now goes my push-up. Okay? Some crazy stuff like that. Okay? All good. Alright? So that's the basic form for push-ups. You don't want to look like this with your butt up. You don't want to look like this with your butt down. You don't want your heels to be back. You want your feet to be pointing forward so your abs are engaged and everything's locked on. Okay? The other thing you can do is have a friend put a stick. It's called that up a toothference, a little bump in the back of your head. You want your spine to be completely straight from head to tail. Alright? So, nice straight as much as I can. Have a big butt, so probably don't look that way, but bam. Okay? For beginners, intermediate, you don't need to go all the way down. Most of the time, not that I should have also said from the beginning, proper form for every exercise is proud chest, modest chin. So you want to have your chest completely open, like you're showing up your boobs, shoulders back and down, proud chest, modest chin. Okay? So puff up your chest, but keep your chin down and neutral. Go up, go quickly neck. Okay? This posture is basically for every exercise you're going to do. Alright? Now going into more advanced can start doing asymmetrical. Okay, so from here, this way. Now, normally I'll do this on the floor and slide. Okay, so that's a cool variation for you guys, right? We have another one called walk-ups. Well, another one. People will do this one, and then you walk that way, but I'm going to go this way because I don't have any room. Okay, that's another good one for beginners. That's a good warm-up. Anything else? Drop downs. So drop downs, you replace the thumb with the elbow. Okay? So those are your basic push-up fundamentals. For knuckle push-ups, you want to either do two big knuckles. I did classical karate, so most of these are on these knuckles. Okay, as you can see, these knuckles, I mean, I took all the calluses off. I scraped them off like years ago because, you know, my girlfriends used to complain about it, and I didn't really like the fact that everywhere I went, people would see that I had these huge calluses. So it's like telling everybody, yeah, this guy fights. But you can still see the bone. It's definitely been worked on. You see what I'm saying? You can do them either on these knuckles or on these knuckles. Classical karate, we usually do these. Okay? Same form. Okay? Start from this one, which is harder. And then you can do the wide, same thing. When you do the wide ones, you want to be at 90 degrees. Now, the next two movements you're going to need is the squat and the deadlift. Okay? We'll do the squat first. So, a squat is a knee dominant exercise. Basically, you want to have your feet approximately 35 to 45 degrees, and you're just going to sit down slow. Okay? When I come down, notice I still have that proud chest, modest chin. My elbows will fit. I can put them out to do a lift. I'm going to spread the floor like I'm breaking a piece of paper. And I'm going to spread the floor, keep my knees from doing this. Okay? So, knee over the center toe, knee behind the toes, navel and the tummy aligned, right? So from here, okay? Normally when I do bodyweight squats, I have people do the prayer pose, but just for explanation on the videos, that's what I'm doing, okay? Very simple. A deadlift is a hip dominant exercise. This is very common, and most people hurt themselves. For instance, a lot of people blow out their back when they're brushing their teeth, or something strange, because what happens is they have a false fulcrum where the lower back will start to do the job of what the hip should be doing. The head of the femur and acetabulum, okay? So from this joint, this is your leg, this is the acetabulum, which is basically the hip bone, and it wants to do this, right? When the body's trained to not do this, the flexion will come from the spine, and this is when people usually hurt themselves, okay? Crazy amounts of shearing force, all kinds of bad stuff happens. So the deadlift is probably the most functional movement to learn to avoid you having back problems in later life, because you're going to do this all the time, okay? So when you're going to reach for something in the bathroom, most people will do this. The hip stays where it is, over the heel, and they start to rotate their spine, or flex their spine, excuse me. This is really bad for you. So what you want to learn, and normally I have my clients do this at a wall, or I'll have like I'll use a dowel or something, I have them take their butt and hit it. The key to this movement, whether your feet are neutral or splayed, is that my butt has to go behind my heels, okay? So take your hands on your legs, bring your wrists down to your knees, and notice that my butt went behind my heels, okay? Now I'm gonna bring my head straight to the floor. I'm gonna straight from the floor up. Again, all leg exercises is splitting the floor. So this piece of paper on the ground, I'm just gonna split it in half, okay? Let's engage my glutes, make sure my knees stay over the toes. There's your deadlift, okay? This action happens so many times in life. All you gotta remember, can you see the wall, is bring your butt behind you. Don't leave your butt standing and bring your spine here, okay? You can actually see the vertebrae pop out if I do this incorrectly. You see this? I hope you can see it on the video. But this is really bad for you. You want to have this stay neutral and move your hip. So you can see that my erectors will stay locked, right? And as I stand up, they stay in the same position. They don't do this. Okay, this is very important. Next would be the squat. You do squat, deadlift, then split squat. Okay, go to your front stance, bring your knee down, come back up, and switch. If you're gonna do this with weights like a foreman's carry, always have the thumbs in a neutral position. Do not grab like this. Okay, it's very bad for you. Just keep your nose neutral. Is that it? I think that's it. Okay, guys. Well, sorry it took me so long. I almost forgot about it. It's been a crazy week for me. All kinds of stuff. Trying to handle the yard. But any more questions or anything specific you want to know, let me guys, hit me up in the comments, and I'll get to you. All right? Peace out.